What's up, everybody? Charismatic Fiend taking a walk around Las Vegas in the north side. Um, so yeah, like 3 years ago, I took a video of this very aqueduct here with all the homeless and stuff after a storm, and they were washed away. We got like 6,000 hits on that, but like 3 years ago. So they cleaned everything up here, and they don't let the homeless hang out here. I guess they find their ways wherever they find. But yeah, it used to be full of homeless not too long ago. They were all over here. They come every 2 weeks. Now they just somehow got rid of them because they don't come back. Maybe they're, wherever under Trump's new world order. So yeah, that sky, ain't it pretty? All those colors, purple and red and orange and whatever. I'm sure some people will figure out why it's colored like that, because I don't think it's natural. I don't know. I don't remember it being like that many years ago. Maybe it's the West Coast thing. I don't know. I did live out in Cali for a while. I've been out here for like 5-6 years now. So, but I don't know. It just seems weird to me why the skies are all multicolored now. Rainbow. Is that like an LBGTQRSY thing? Everything's got to be a rainbow now? I don't know. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about my situation as a targeted individual. And it's funny because 25 years ago or so, I met a guy who was working on his house, contractor, basically painter, and he was telling me a story that he's trying to get away from this guy he knew on the internet in a trading group or something, day trading group, and they left, and the guy had this university college computer experience, and he had military experience, so he knew everything about how to stalk somebody. And the guy was driving that crazy. He couldn't do anything about it. Literally, he got rid of his devices, got new ones, still there. They're harassing him on all levels. He even had the FBI help, and they couldn't do anything. Well, of course, they're part of it, but he hired an expert, $50,000. They couldn't figure it out. 10 years later, I met a guy at work. So many years later, I forget, maybe 10 years. And he had a similar story. He was living out of his car, and he said these guys are all in my stuff. They were harassing him at work, like messing with his time card. Like it looks like he was leaving late or leaving early or something. And and he said it had involved somebody he knew back in Cali or something. And the guy had money and apparently was harassing him, and for doing it for like 20 years almost. So, and I was like, wow, it's crazy. So, try to help him, gave him some books and shit to read up, beers and shit. But I was like, wow, I'm glad that's not going to happen to me. And here I am. I don't know if that was for real, like these are real people being real stalked, or they just like implanting this into my head, because one way they do this is to mind grape you by implanting a suggestion. So how that works is, they'll suggest something like, man, you shouldn't wear dark clothes at night. And you start going, what do you mean? Well, okay, whatever. And then you start thinking to yourself, yeah, maybe that's true. Why? Why shouldn't I? I don't know. Maybe, blah, blah, blah. And you start overthinking. And when you overthink, sometimes you come up with the wrong conclusions. That's pretty common. Not across here. This sucks out here for pedestrians. I need to get across the street. Hope I don't get killed. If I do, well, I don't know if this will make it to YouTube. It's a little live. But yeah. So, so a lot of that stuff doesn't even need to be electronic. It can be just mental. You're mentally screwing yourself by believing it, basically. Because once you do enough research, and you figure out what's going on, it's less likely to mess with you, but they still can because you're in a situation here that you can't get out of. So they don't even care if you know. I've confronted my stalkers. By the way, I know they're Freemasons. I caught them a couple of times. I'd say something like, man, Freemasons are all Jewish. And he said, I'm not Jewish. I said, what? Was that? Huh? What? So anyway, I do a lot of things to trip them up all the time. I mean, they won't outright mention it, but they'll just go silent. I'll say something about Freemasons and sacrifices, whatnot, and they'll just they'll have a look. They're like, hey, you're not supposed to say that. So anyway, I trip them up. It's fun, but it's scary too because they're never going to go away. It's eternally screwing you, screwing your mind or whatever. And they'll screw with your things. They'll screw with your internet. I've gone through 4 phones so far in like 3 months. 4 phones because they just keep messing with them. Or I gotta can't even use them. Then Cricket, like 2 weeks ago, wouldn't even let me pay my bill. And I had my roommate call, and as soon as she called, because they wouldn't even answer the phone, they see it's my number. And said, wow. So as soon as they answered, she gave it to me, and I said, hey, I got this problem here. And they're like, oh, what's your PIN, or what's your number? And I give it to them, and then disconnected right away. And then not only that, they turned her phone off for like 5-10 minutes. She couldn't turn it back on. So yeah, it's electronic for sure, but it's also mental, psychological, and it's spiritual, if you want to call it that. Maybe it's just other dimensional. Maybe we live in multiple dimensions, stretch on for infinity. We just keep creating it. It's kind of like computer. I think we live in like a computer-like existence because the things these stalkers do, to me, doesn't seem human, right? It's like there's very little variation. There's no emotion in what they do. It's very sterile and logical, kind of how like Germans think, right? Or Nazi. We must exterminate them because, whatever. This fascist, whatever you want to call it. So it's their kind of think, which I see as the gangstalking mentality, the military mentality, the sociopathic, non-emphatic entities, with no soul. So they definitely don't have a human soul. You can just tell. Yeah, they can seem human. They can talk human. Do all the human things, but they're not human. And then that goes to, well, what is human? What does a human come from? Is a soul created by a deity or a computer programmer using AI? Did the deity create the AI? Because for AI to exist, it's complicated. It's like a computer program, but it's artificial. So it's artificial, somebody created it. So maybe the AI didn't create everything, but it's creating the reality we live in, we see every day, the humans. The AI entities that are the stalkers, I guess you can call them the archons. So Sophia is the computer programmer who created the archons. Kind of like a virus, right? We go back to the Matrix, the movies, anyway, movies. And we compare it to that, we can see how that could possibly be. The computers just create the simulation, and tapping into your psyche, controlling your mind. So AI can create whatever it needs. So the stalkers could be these archons who are artificial intelligence who were created by a deity or deities, or it was created by us, and we created it because we're bored. We don't have a body or anything. We cannot receive sensations when you're just a spiritual particle, a soul particle from the source. Think of it like a big ball of energy. You just kind of broke away from it, or they sent you here, or you decided that it's boring just being in a ball of energy. So I'm just going to leave right now and go see what's out there. And then you get into this complex series of lives. But you're learning from it, right? And if you're sitting in that ball of energy, you're not learning anything, are you? I guess. I don't know. So challenging. You need something to do. So we create an existence. So we say, well, I don't know. It takes so much energy for me to keep this simulation going. So why don't I create a program, an artificial intelligence, so that it can do it for me? Because you're just energy anyway. Right? You're not a body. You're in a body. You're in the interface. So, right. So these thugs up here. I know they're gonna start something. I'm gonna walk by. So I know it. So I'm gonna chill right here and see what they do. So this is what's happening everywhere, all over the world. These thugs. You got these criminals out here. You know, picking fights for Whitey. Or whatever. Mostly Whitey. So, like, I'm like one of the only white ones. So anyway, so to get on back on that, yeah, I mean, we're playing a video game that we jumped into. We bought the PlayStation, and you know, we're playing the game now. If enough people realize it, I don't know, they could continue to play, or they could say, I'm not enough of this game. I think we're done. I'm getting to that point. Well, I've been at that point. I'm just going through the motions of this phase. So, well, anyway, I'm gonna break off. I gotta go drop something off, and sit on that, and let me know. Leave a comment, subscribe, like, all that jazz. I'll see you later.